Patriots are up next. And, Alex, it's a new era. Bill Belichick, of course, no longer the head coach of these New England Patriots. Jarod Mayo, now the head coach. A totally new era in Foxborough. And it's also a new era where they used the third overall pick in the NFL draft on Ryan McCormick's guy, Drake Maye, out of North Carolina. Jacoby Brissett also brought back to New England, second stint in Foxborough for Brissett. Of course, as you see on your screen right now, the Patriots 18-1, the longest of long shots to win a division. Actually, the longest number in the NFL behind us to win their division. So just shows what the bookmakers think of these Patriots going into the year. It didn't really add that much. I mean, they bring KJ Osborne in. They draft Lynn Polk out of Washington as well. They lose Mac Jones. That really doesn't impact Bailey Zappi is also still on the roster, but he's now the number 4 quarterback, so he'll probably be gone by the end of the year. Devontae Parker was ineffective, retired. Trent Brown left. This is really just more than anything, Alex, a team in transition, for lack of a better phrase, on the New England Patriots here in 2024.
It's really tough going through their schedule. They look to be the underdog in every game. Floor, maybe, I don't know, 2 wins, 2-15.
Woo.
Ceiling 6. So that win total is very close, I think. It's sitting at 4.5.
5 right now behind us. There's some 4.5 out there as well, but it's behind us. Chris and company have a 5.
I will say defensively, I like this team. I think they can at least keep them competitive to hang around in games. It's just really tough offensively, and they have to make a lot of changes. Going over some numbers from last year, 30th in yards per game, 31st in points per game, 28th in passing yards per game. Of course, that was, as you mentioned, with Jones and Zappi starting there. Even though their line allowed 48 sacks, that was 24th. It is good, though. They will have some experience together. 4 of their starting O-line from last year are coming back, replace Trent Brown, so that they'll have one new guy there. But a lot of question marks offensively first.
So power rated wise, just going off of numbers across the board here, I have Denver as the lowest power rated team in the AFC. New England is team number 15 in the AFC, Alex, for me. And the numbers out there by the bookmakers back that the Patriots have the lowest win total in the AFC, 5 behind us, 4.5 at some books. They have an offense that, if you look on paper, other than Ramondre Stevenson, they really don't have anyone that I would say is in the top 10 of their position group. And that's a very hard way to make a living in this league where you just lack offensive talent. And even though this defense, you mentioned, look, the defense was totally fine last year. They just weren't elite. And there's only so much they could do when they were on the field so much a year ago with beyond incompetent quarterback play from Zappi and Mac Jones. I am just so curious to see what this looks like with a new coaching staff. I just wonder if these guys were just tired of the Belichick act, especially when the winning stopped. Well, of course, after Brady leaves for Tampa, only 1 playoff appearance for New England in the 4 seasons that Brady was no longer a Patriot. 4 seasons since that, I should say. Brady, of course, was in Tampa for 3. I have no idea what to expect. Offensive coordinator-wise, Alex Van Pelt, we have seen him as a coordinator in this league in the past. He's also been a quarterback's coach. Probably a good guy to help develop Drake Maye. Just not for this season, though, Alex.
Yeah, it is really tough. And you make a good point. I mean, you could see a very inspired, determined team here, starting fresh, starting new. It is tough. And looking at their offense, not a whole lot of guys. I mean, there is Jalen Polk, we'll see. They did draft him from Washington. He could be very good for this team. Hunter Henry has been a good tight end in this league, but really it's their defense that they've got to hang their hat on, and you mentioned it. They can only do so much when they're on the field for so long. But I will just throw out some numbers here because I think they return the most defensive starters of any team in the NFL, and they finished 15th in points allowed, 7th in yards per game allowed, and really good rush defense. They were number 1 in the league in yards per carry and 4th in yards per game. So hanging on to that defensively, and we'll see what we get offensively.
Christian Gonzalez, who missed the majority of the year last year as a rookie with an injury, returns as well. there are pieces on this defense. There's no arguing that. Matthew Judon might be one of the most, to me, is the most underrated player in the National Football League.
Who also missed
a lot of time because of injury a year ago. So
yeah.
Again, they had a lot of injuries also. And look, it's a new day in New England. And a lot of the reason, and again, I think 5 is actually exactly where they line up. I think they end up going 5-12.
You do?
That's where I had them.
5 wins out of that?
You know what? Here's the kicker more so than anything. In division, they could very easily win one game. Now, schedule-wise, you mentioned this at the beginning. The schedule is brutal because, and this is the thing with the AFC East for the most part, the AFC East schedule draws were bad this year because even though the AFC South was their main division, the division they crossed with for the scheduling, for the division, for the where you finished in the division slot, was the AFC North for the road game. Hello, week 1. And this is why I like Cincinnati so much. Cincinnati draws New England right out of the gate. So instead of drawing for the Bengals, like drawing the Jets or the Dolphins, finishing second or third, teams that I think are going to be in the playoff hunt, even though I think Miami is worse than the market says, Cincinnati's a 9-point favorite against New England week 1. So, yeah, hey, look, I like them week 2 against Seattle. I do like them in that game. They've obviously, until the last game of last season, have owned the Jets 16 straight wins before week 18 last year when the Jets finally got them in Foxborough. Arizona's a winnable game. They'll steal a few games. I think you're right. They're not going to be like historically bad. But there is a pathway to go 2-15, 3-14. That path is there with the difficulty of the schedule.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I don't want to go bet the under
so low,
and they could steal a few there, but really it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough season.
On the quarterback front, real quick, Jacoby Brissett, from everything that's been said out of New England camp, is going to be the starter day 1. I always thought that Drake Maye is a little more of a project than some people are making it out to be. A lot of people do acknowledge that, though. For May, you look at that schedule, it's a late bye, week 14, super, super late bye. If New England gets out to, I don't know, you're not starting May unless if there's injury, probably until week 6 against Houston. But even then, I mean, getting the Jets twice in the first 8 weeks, not good for a young quarterback. San Francisco, week 4, bad matchup, of course, there if you want to throw them into the fire. There's not really the softest of landing spots to get May in there unless if you wait all the way to week 15. But by then, New England could be 2-11. That's too late to get your rookie quarterback in action. That's the one thing that concerns me with May, at least in his rookie year. There's not a really soft landing spot in the schedule, especially if New England gets out to like a 1-4, 1-5 start to get him in there. I mean, at Tennessee week 9, I don't really love that starting on the road to begin your career either. So not really a soft landing spot to get May his first start, which I would say is coming at some point before week 10. It's just a matter of where, Alex.
Is week 5 too early for you?
I don't love the divisional matchup. I know that's not the greatest of defenses with Miami, but I don't love that. It is 2 straight home games, and then Jacksonville, I believe, is a London game, so it is a neutral. I mean, you're not starting him in London as his first start. So.
No, and maybe so. I'm glad you brought that up because then you probably want to wait till after that, right?
Yeah, and
instead of starting him and then going back.
Yeah, you don't want to start. You don't want to start him against a Jet defense.
No, you do not.
So
I will agree
yeah,
with that.
it just. Now that I talk through this more, maybe New England is closer to 3-14 and 4 in the lower end of the spectrum, more so than the higher end. I think their ceiling is 6. Like absolute everything goes right. 6-11 is probably their ceiling. I know there's some that respect the defense out there. The defense could be really good and they could win some low-scoring games, but there's only so far that will take you, as we've learned over the last few years.
I was going to say that you've
read your mind on that one.
Well, you've gone through it in New York, and
just slightly.
Yes.
Just slightly with the Jets. So, not a lot of hope on the desk from us on New England. And look, I would like to see Jarod Mayo succeed. It's just a matter of how patient is everyone up in New England, knowing that this is a project to become a better team in what is all of a sudden a stacked division in the AFC East with 3 playoff caliber teams in front of the Patriots. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Parles.
And I'm Alex White. Thank you for watching this clip of Sports by the Book. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe.
We live stream the show right here every day on this channel. Also, you can catch the podcast version on your favorite podcast platform.
All the links are in the description below. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.